Hey guys, it's good to see you. Stuart here, and man, church services this morning were just awesome, weren't they? I wanted to talk to you about a story that I read this morning out of Mark. It's in chapter 4. It begins with verse 35, and I'm going to paraphrase just to help save time, but you know the story. It's the disciples got on a boat. Jesus was already on it, and they shoved off and went out to the Sea of Galilee, and it also said that there were other boats there that were with them. Now, as soon as they got out there, all of a sudden a storm came up, the waves were crashing over, and I'm sure the disciples were trying to take everything in their own hands to solve the crisis that they were in. I'm sure they were saying, well, what are we going to throw over? Who are we going to throw over? Probably the biggest one that was there, obviously, and I'm sure they were bailing water and everything else. But finally, they decided, hey, let's go wake up the expert in the wind and the waves. Let's wake up the master. So they do. Jesus comes up and it simply waves his hands. The waves stop crashing, and all of a sudden the wind stops. And, you know, as I thought about that, I realized that maybe sometimes God's just saying, hey, you guys need to turn this crisis over to us. You need to wake up the master. And the interesting thing as I read this is it also said there were other boats with them. And when I began to think about that, I thought, you know, Jesus not only saved the boat he was in, the disciples that day, he saved all the other boats that were out there too. Don't you imagine? And I began to think about the representation of that. Maybe that could represent other churches in the world and in the United States. And maybe this revival is going to begin in one boat, in one church, in our church here in Arkansas. And I began to get excited and think about what we could do as a church and how we could begin the revival right here at New Life Church at Arkansas and Heber Springs. Hey guys, man, I love you guys. Y'all send me your prayer requests. We want to continue to pray for you, and God bless y'all. We'll see you real soon. Bye.